fascinating question: are we invasive? Today, we're diving into how human activity disrupts the sedimentary cycle in Intramuros, a historic gem in the heart of Manila. These ancient walls and moats aren't just beautiful relics of the past. They hold clues to understanding natural processes that have been ongoing for millions of years. So what exactly is sedimentary cycle? It is the journey of sediment from its source to transport and deposition to its final resting place. And believe it or not, our actions have a big impact on this cycle. Intrigued? Let's find out more.
The sedimentary cycle in a steady-state land environment involves a continuous and balanced interplay of weathering, erosion, transport, and deposition processes, maintaining a dynamic equilibrium that shapes and sustains the landscape over time. And weathering breaks down the stones of historic walls. Erosion carries the weathering material away from the walls. Transport moves these materials via water or wind to new locations. Deposition occurs when these materials settle in areas like moats, forming sediment layers, and here at Intramuros, the old walls and moats show how these natural processes work over time. Rain, wind wear down the stones, and water in the moats moves and deposits sediments.
Human activities such as construction, maintenance, and urbanization significantly impact the natural sedimentary cycle. When we build structures like walls or roads, we alter the flow of water and sediments. This disruption can lead to increased erosion in some areas and reduced sediment deposition in others. The Chatelier's principle helps us understand these changes. It states that when a system in equilibrium is disturbed, it will adjust to minimize that disturbance and restore balance. For example, constructing walls along a riverbank changes the water flow, leading to different erosion and deposition patterns. The river may erode more aggressively in other areas to compensate for the disruption. Urbanization also contributes to this imbalance. Impermeable surfaces like concrete prevent water from soaking into the ground, increasing runoff and sediment transport. This can overwhelm natural waterways and disrupt the sedimentary cycle. To mitigate these impacts, we need to design and implement sustainable construction practices that consider the natural equilibrium of our environment. By doing so, we can help preserve the balance of the sedimentary cycle and protect our ecosystems.
Now let's talk about how the river plays a key role in sediment transport and deposition. So, an example of this is the river near Intramuros, which is a vital part of the sedimentary cycle. Normally, rivers like this carry small bits of soil, sand, and minerals from one place to another. As the river flows, it drops this sediment along its bank and its mouth, creating fertile land that's great for plants and wildlife. But human activities are messing up this natural process. Water from the city, full of pollutants from roads and buildings, flows into the river, dirtying the water and sediments. Construction and factory waste add more pollution, disrupting the river's natural balance. This not only affects how the river carries and deposits sediments, but also harms the river's ecosystem, making it harder for plants and animals to survive. To protect our rivers and their important role in the sediment cycle, we need to cut down on pollution and support eco-friendly practices.
Human activities have profound impact on the environment, often leading to unintended consequences such as the introduction of invasive species. Invasive species are non-native organisms that outcompete native species and disrupt ecosystems. These invaders can have far-reaching effects on natural processes, including erosion and sedimentation patterns. One of the primary ways in which human activities introduce invasive species is through global movement of goods and people. As goods are transported around the world, organisms hitch a ride often unknowingly and are deposited in new environments where they can thrive and spread rapidly. Similarly, as people travel from one place to another, they can inadvertently carry invasive species with them, introducing them to new regions where they can wreak havoc on local ecosystems. Invasive species can exacerbate erosion by distributing the delicate balance of plant and animal communities that help stabilize soil. For example, invasive plants like kudzu or Chinese pipit often outcompete native vegetation, reducing plant diversity and leaving soils vulnerable to erosion. Without the root systems of native plants to hold the soil in place, erosion rates can increase dramatically, leading to loss of topsoil, decreased water quality, and habitat degradation.
Have you ever wondered how the environment shapes the life around us? Let's dive into the fascinating world of epigenetics and see how changes in our surrounding can leave a lasting imprint on plants and animals. Epigenetics shows us how the environment can change, how genes work without altering the DNA itself. When human disrupts the natural sedimentary cycles through activities like construction, mining, or agriculture, we alter the environment in significant ways. These changes can affect the availability of nutrients, the soil composition, and even the microhabitats essential for plant and animal life. Our actions today shape the genes of tomorrow, linking us to the future of our environment.
To sum up, the sedimentary cycle is really important for shaping our land and supporting life. In Intramuros, we see how natural processes like weathering, erosion, and deposition happen over time. But human activities like building and pollution disrupt this balance. We've seen how the river moves and drops sediments, creating fertile land. However, city pollution and factory waste harm this process, affecting the river and its surroundings. Invasive species make things worse by destabilizing the soil and causing more erosion. Our actions have big impact on the environment. By understanding these effects, we can work to reduce our negative impact. We need to adopt eco-friendly practices and support conservation efforts to protect our natural world. Together, we can create a healthier environment for future generations.